expressed on any program are those of the producers and/or the persons appearing on the program and do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of FRC Media, Bristol Community College, or the City of Fall River.
Hello, welcome to Spindle City Straight Talk. I'm Chip.
And I'm CJ.
And it is Friday in the River.
End of the week.
The end of an epic week.
Yep.
And we've got a whole bunch of stuff to talk to. I see CJ's got some paperwork. I got my little slip here, so.
You know, it's interesting because we have so much to talk about and not enough time.
We never have enough time.
So I'm going to kick off with the first statement I want to make. Number one, because you ask a goddamn question doesn't mean you're negative.
Oh, dude.
Okay? Remember that. People have a right to ask questions. Now.
No, they don't.
I know.
Not in this society.
Not in this society,
if you
exactly.
don't agree with their opinion,
Yep.
you not only don't have a right to ask a question, they want you executed.
That's right. Exactly. Well, here's what's going on. As we all know, or some may know, the park board approved the lighting. Notice I said lighting.
Lighting.
Of Kennedy Park.
The illumination.
Right, the illumination of Kennedy Park for a Winter Wonderland thing.
I love these euphemisms.
Right, well, here's the thing. The organizers of this Winter Wonderland thing have gone beyond that. And I had a conversation with the park department yesterday. I did, Carlos Caesar did, a city councilor did. We've all had a conversation about it. The park knows nothing about any event. All they know about is the lighting of the park. Nothing else. Nothing else was approved by the park board. Nothing else was planned. So, for those organizers, get your crap together. Okay? And get it in front of the park board like it's supposed to be. Remember, the law is for everybody, not just for a select few. And I don't care if the mayor wants this event to happen. Okay? He's got to follow the law as well. And remember, he always says, I follow the law, I follow the law, I follow the charter.
Recreation director has to have his way.
I know.
That's our recreation director in charge.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, guess what else the park didn't know about?
Anything that they do. That's the reality. That's a generalization,
idea.
which is correct. Nobody knows anything that this mayor does.
They had no idea about an ice skating rink. No plans.
Yep.
No anything. Now, here's the kicker. Questions were asked on who's going to manage the Zamboni, maintain the ice and whatnot. And according to Linda, during the city council meeting, it was going to be managed by the people who they're renting the rink from. They're renting this, okay? So they're taking $325,000 of ARPA money, which could go to water infrastructure, and they're putting it into a rented ice skating rink. Now, I'm going to ask you a question.
Yes.
If the city park employees have to operate the Zamboni and learn how to maintain the ice in the Zamboni, what does that mean?
Well, it means more money for sure.
Right.
And it also means that it'll be falling into a total state of disrepair. But you know, we're going to rent things. Mm-hmm. Like we rented flags. We could have bought the flags.
That's right.
But yet we rented them for 30 years for parades. Mm-hmm. We were renting flags.
And they were the same flags.
And they're the same flags for 25 years. Listen, these people are all, look, this was done for optics. Oh, we love the kids. But that segues me into this because you're right, this is absurd. We shouldn't be renting. We're going to spend $325 grand. We better own it. But if we can't own anything, because let's look at the reality. We build a school, it falls into disrepair. We have a building, it falls apart. We buy a replacement building and we forget we bought it. And now we have to buy another one. So this is the way government works. And while we're on that, I did a little, you know, I like numbers.
Yep.
So I did a few little quick calculations. Now, we have $50 million in that opera money, right?
Correct.
Okay, 50, not 5, $50 million. They were going to give the taxpayers of this city, the parents of all these children that they did this optics for, because they don't care about the children. They care about all the people that they're going to use in their campaign thing. I got the rink. I got the rink.
Right.
You know, I helped get this boxing program. Well, let me tell you. We had a CYO boxing program. We had a PAL boxing program. We had a soccer field built at Britland Park. All of them disappeared. Lack of maintenance, lack of caring about it, and now they're going to resurrect it again. And do you really think these things are going to last? These programs are going to make, do anything? We're renting the thing, so we're not making any money on this deal. The city's not getting anything back. We're renting the thing. This is manure. But this is what, listen, I want everybody to listen to this. Pay attention. 50 cents they were going to give us out of 50 million.
Right.
Okay? You know what that is? 1/1,000,000th of a percent. Not 1/1,000,000th, 1/1,000,000th of 1%. And in case you want to write it down, this is the way it's written down. 0.00000001. 7 zeros and a 1. And this is what it breaks down to in years. $1 million is 2,737 years, 47 weeks, and 3 days. 1 million. 50 million is 136,895 years. And these people who are supposed to represent you didn't give you 3 hours out of that 136,895 years available. They couldn't find that money anywhere else because Paulie's got it all promised. They had to take that out of your pockets. They don't care that they're going to build a skating rink and they're going to send people to a program that may or may not exist in 5 years. But they're not going to allow their parents to have a couple of extra dollars to maybe feed these kids or pay their rent or buy them some school clothes. No, they've got to take nickels and dimes, as Paulie said when he came to that meeting that you taped. I'm looking for nickels and dimes here. Yeah, you're nickel and diming the people to death while you're spending hundreds of thousands and millions of dollars. How can you not be bullshit over this? How can you not be upset over this? This is what 8 of your councilors voted to do. Take a lousy couple of cents when they had $50 million, but there's where your priority is. You're just below whale excrement, because that's valuable. Because don't they make perfume out of that stuff? Hamburgers?
Yeah.
Oh, that's puke. I'm sorry. That's whale puke. Forget about it. All right. But this is where you stand, people, with your council. And they're going to go, oh, you're attacking the kids. You hate kids. No, I'm not. There's been no bigger advocate for boxing programs, jiu-jitsu programs, basketball leagues. But I'm a realist. I'm a pragmatist. We build a building. Show me a building in Fall River that hasn't fallen into disrepair. You can't.
Right.
Every time.
Even the new Durfee.
Even a new Durfee, and it's not that old. but the thing is, show me a program that PAL lasted a long time.
Yep.
Why? Because Nero Farias.
Right.
Nero Farias started it, and Libby Medeiros took it over. Ronnie Como started the CYO program, and they were doing it for virtually zero. They did it because they cared. Now you're going to get private companies who really don't care. They're there to make a profit. I don't care. You're renting the place, and if they're not getting the rent they want, they're going to close the place. You're going to have a program for kids. That program may or may not exist. If not enough people get in, what good's the program? The difference was we had viable programs before. As a matter of fact, I talked to Mayor Coogan before he got in, and I talked about the jiu-jitsu anti-bullying program that Gracie Jiu-Jitsu came up with. It's taught by virtually all jiu-jitsu schools today. And I know a lot of people in that community because I worked with people, with MMA stuff. I could have got an anti-bullying program into this city for free, and I told them that, but they didn't care. It wasn't before an election or they're building up their resume. This is to build up their resume. And I'll tell you right now, it is outrageous. Think about this. A lousy 50 cents per unit, and they had to pick your pocket. Just like our state legislators who just left couldn't give us a break. Other states have given their taxpayers a break, but we got, what, $9 billion?
$9 billion in our rainy day fund now.
$9 billion in our rainy day fund. They couldn't give you back $1.80. You've got to get to the polls, people. You've got to take a giant bulldozer and push these people out of office. They are not representing you.
You know, the thing that people need to do is they need to stop doing, he's a good guy, she's a good guy, she did this, he did that. You got to look at this and say, what didn't they do for me? Okay? And let's list a few things they didn't do. They did not save you money on your water bill. Linda has continuously said, I don't want to vote for a water increase. I don't want to vote for a water increase. I won't vote for a water increase. And what does she do when it comes up? She votes for the water increase.
And not only did she vote for the water increase, she voted for an additional increase by denying us the money.
I was just going to say that. And
now she gave us the double whammy.
Double finger.
That's right.
And, you know, these are the things that happen, okay? 8 city councilors on Tuesday gave away $2,325,000 that could have been used for water and sewer infrastructure. Okay? I've read this over and over again, and I heard it during, whoever is texting you, please tell him to stop.
That's my son.
Oh.
Jesus.
They said it throughout the city council. We're not going to add any more ARPA money to the water and sewer because we're trying to, what is it called?
I'm sorry.
Wait for every dime that's available to get together other monies because they're looking at getting $2 million. Hold on, they're looking at getting $2 million. Oh. We just got 2 more grants last week for another $2 million. So we are not going to stop supporting water and sewer projects, said Coogan. We're shaking the trees. There it is. That's what I was looking for. We're shaking the trees.
Another political BS.
Right.
Because his friends, because you know that when Laura Washington runs for re-election, it's going to be, I got the skating rink. I did the Proxim program.
No, the skating rink's for Linda.
Well, they both. Well, it was a love-in.
Yeah, there was.
It was a love-in. And look, let me say.
And it was one business. It was one business that was there.
Exactly.
Loves boxing. And you could tell that Laura went out to this place. Either she has an in with this company, she's affiliated with this company somehow, but she went to this place and had them bring out all their participants.
Well, that's what they always do. Look,
right.
they
just like they did with the Durfee project.
And I had a conversation with a city councilor after the fact about these things. Listen. I don't care if you're a psychoanalyst or a psychopath. I don't care what you do for a living. Personally, I would rather have a bunch of ditch diggers on the city council because they can identify with the people in Fall River.
That's right.
Because they're living from paycheck to paycheck. I don't want elitists who want to trample out their credentials. You're not a psychoanalyst or a psychobabblist or a psychopath when you're on the council. You're a city councilor sworn to uphold the Constitution, the statutes, and the ordinances, and to represent, be an agent and a substitute for the people of Fall River, all 98,000 of them.
That's right.
And this horse manure about this guy's a great guy. Here's a citation. Here's another citation. Oh, you did this. You did that. You're wonderful. Yeah, great. Have a special session for that where people can just, if they don't want to watch it, they can just shut it off. Because that's not what you're there for. See, this is the problem with government. Government is not run like a business. In business, you know what they say? When you go into the boardroom and you go, that guy's a nice guy, this guy's great, he says hello to everybody, sends everybody Christmas cards. You know what they go? Our stocks are down, the company's not doing. Fire his butt.
Right.
That's what they say. We're losing money. Stop spending money. Not in government. Oh, let's make everybody happy. Trample all the kids out. Trample all everybody out. Trample this, trample that out. Get them all in there. Have 25 people and stop. So they didn't have to read Patrick Higgins and my citizens' input, which they made an agreement to do. Oh, we had 17 people sign up. 15 of whom were saying the same thing.
Right.
I told that city councilor, maybe you should consider doing what we used to do at an international convention. We had a rule in these conventions. We had the rules of the convention. And what it said was, because we had literally thousands, we had delegations from all over the United States and Canada. So we had literally 10,000, 15,000 delegates at these conventions. Huge, huge halls with microphones all over the place. And when a resolution would come up that people supported or opposed, you could have 250 people talking on either side. So we always agreed to a resolution saying that on any particular issue, you had 5 yeas and 5 nays. After that, the debate was shut down.
Right.
So you could only have 5 people, not 25 people telling you the same thing. Oh, this is wonderful. I care, because it's all political optics. You shouldn't, the fact is, okay, 1 or 2 is enough. Nobody's going to say the program isn't right. But what's wrong with your priorities? You're going to take money out of the pockets of the parents of those people, whether they're renters or property owners. So those kids may not be able to get as much couple of dollars. Oh, it's only a couple of dollars. Well, you got $50 million. You couldn't give us 50 cents? That shows what you think about the people in Fall River. You just don't care. And don't say I don't like kids, because I'll tell you what, you want to have another boxing program? I can get a whole bunch of people to volunteer to do it for free.
That's it.
Like we did before. Give us a location, and I'll get people down there to run a program. I got people that can run jiu-jitsu programs, just initially, because these people are all professionals. I'm a certified boxing trainer and MMA trainer in the state of Massachusetts. I mean, this is baloney. This is all political. They never give you any money back. That's what CJ said before. You never see money. They always take it away from you, no matter how much they have. The state's got $9 billion, and we couldn't get a dime back from them. And the city's got $50 million, and you couldn't give you 50 cents. 50 cents. Remember this.
And remember,
136,895 years, and they couldn't give you a half a day.
Isn't that a shame? Isn't that a shame? And remember, this was done by 8 city councilors. And I don't want to hear, oh, but look, they got the compromise. Joe Camara proposed a compromise on the $11 million so that they could get $6 million. And Michelle Dion had to turn around and say to Mr. Furlan, can you get one project done with $6 million? And he kind of was like, yeah, you know, he wasn't sure. It didn't look like he was sure.
Look,
So guess what? If we don't get that project done with that $6 million, we're out of luck. And guess what? Joe Camara's at fault for it. Sean Kadim's at fault for it. Brad Kilby's at fault for it. Laura Washington's at fault for it. Linda Pereira's at fault for it. Andrew Raposa is at fault for it. These are the Leo Pelletier is at fault for it. These are the people that you elect. What you need to do the next time you go to the polls is say, okay, these guys have all had a chance. They've screwed up. It's now time to give somebody else a chance. And whether you like them or not, whether you think they're a good guy or not, it's better to give them a chance and not like them, and then maybe they won't do what you want or won't do what's right for the people, and then at the next election, you boot them. But you've got to keep a new influx of new people. Otherwise, we're going to get the same old, same old. You've got people on that council for 20 and 30 years, and we still have the same crap that we had when they took the city council 20 and 30 years ago. That shows you how effective they've been. That shows you how effective they've been. And how did they get reelected? Because she's a wonderful woman. He's a wonderful guy. He got my pothole fixed. She got my trash picked up. That's what you're voting for. That's not what you're supposed to be voting for. You're supposed to be voting for what represents you, what represents me, what represents the people of Fall River. And we currently don't have that, especially on the 6th floor.
what they compromised was their duty to the citizens of Fall River. That's what was a compromise. It's not a compromise when you take money away from the taxpayer. Well, we took a little less, so we had to look, pat us on the back. As CJ said, listen, I would vote for my worst enemy if they could do the job. I don't give two whatevers. If my auto mechanic is a Republican, a Democrat, an independent, a unicorn, an alien, I don't care. I'm paying him to fix my car. The same goes with my plumber and my carpenter and everybody whose services I get. I go out and look for the best. When I was putting up a fence, I went out and I looked at fence companies and I researched who the best company was. I didn't care. When a guy walked into my yard to give me an estimate, I didn't give a damn what he did. And I don't care what you do. I don't care if you're a town administrator or a psychoanalyst or a school principal or a rich, privileged child of wealth. I vote for people on the council who are going to fight to have government do what it was intended to do. Be lean, spend only the money it takes to provide the necessary things, which are public safety, education, and keep this city and its tax rate down so people can have discretionary income and resurrect the city with their money like we did before. Because when people have money, they can purchase things. That's when, remember, when we had the mills, people weren't rich. They didn't have six-figure jobs, but they all had jobs. And every single storefront on Pleasant Street was full. Every single storefront on South Main was filled. We had a viable economy in the city of Fall River. We supported restaurants of all different types. We supported stores. We had 2 men's shops. We had a lady shop just on downtown. But why? What's the difference? The difference is money. People had jobs. They didn't have a lot of money, but they all had money. Everybody had money, and they spent it. And they spent it locally because they had an investment in the community. We have evolved a government that wants to spend all your money, take everything you have, and then pretend they're doing you a favor by giving you a pittance back. Or as Jefferson once said, when you have a government that can give you everything you need that government can also take everything you have. And that's what you've allowed to get into office. And as CJ said, stay there for 20 or 30 years. Why? Because you like them? Look, I don't have anything against some of those counselors. But based on their performance and the way they've just completely obliterated my wallet, more taxes, more fees, Durfee, Diamond. There's no regard for how much money they pile on, because you know what their attitude is? You don't like it, move out of Fall River. You don't like it, move to Fall River. You get evicted from your apartment and go to Brockton or go to New Bedford. They don't care. They want the average person, the person on a fixed income, the person with median to lower income, they want them gone. Or they don't want to pay attention to them. It's like they don't exist. All you got to do is look around. You think all the rich people in New York care about some poor bugger that got smacked in the head with a lead-lined glove by a convicted felon? He's got a fractured skull, a fractured cheekbone. He may have permanent brain damage. He was charged with attempted murder, and the Bronx DA changed the plea. It's a third-degree misdemeanor now. And you wonder why? Do they care about the average person who has to take the subway? No. These people don't give a crap. And our city council proved on Tuesday night that 8 of them do not care about you. They're doing feel-good, fuzzy things. I'm going to shore up my campaign base. And that's just not, that's not the way it should be. So let's not let 14% of the electorate determine the next city council and mayoral election.
True, true. You know, and it's a shame that it's come to that here in Fall River. And again, I know already, I can hear it, we're being negative, that we're always told we're negative, but we're not being negative, we're being factual. We're telling you the facts the way they are. There's no in between here. The $2 million plan, there's no plan. There's no plan. So much so that Andrew Raposa had to make a motion to put in there that nonprofits be included in this plan, because they weren't included in the plan initially. And Laura said, oh, no, they can do it. It's for everybody. No. Somebody could use, no, the nonprofits aren't in there. So now they're in there. But there's still no plan. They got to hire somebody. And that person not only has to decide who's going to get the money, which I think is wrong, who's going to get the money, but also how they're going to continue this program after the ARPA money runs out. Because I'll tell you right now, $2 million doesn't go very far, especially when a percentage of that money is going to go to pay the person who's the coordinator.
And probably a pretty good amount, too. But let me remind some, so you can wrap it up. It's not negative. What we're saying is fact. If it's not fact, then prove it. The fact is this city, they did take money away from that 50 cents. We do have a Durfee. We do have a Diamond. We do have a maximum 2.5 increase. And remember one thing. Many years ago, when we had a government that used to get voted out, we had a 300-man fire department, a 300-man police department, a larger school department that actually was educating our children, and we had $12 million surplus in this city. And I have the numbers to prove it. So you tell me how we got from that point A to this point D for disaster without horrible leadership. And I'm not blaming them. I'm blaming the voters. In those days, we got a 70% turnout. Now we get 14. There's your answer.
There's your answer. Well, this weekend's going to be a beautiful weekend. It's going to be a little more humid. It's going to be a little hot. So take care, hydrate yourself, and remember, stay safe, stay angry, and hold your politician accountable. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on Monday.